all property managers are entrepreneurs. And
Yes.
so as a property manager, you have all the normal stress of being an entrepreneur, which is hard as it is. And then
Hmm.
on top of that, you're also a property manager, which by
Yeah.
definition is incredibly hard by itself.
Yeah. It's funny because, you know, you and I have talked about this in the past. It's like, it's almost like being a mayor of a small town,
Mm,
you know, and I've never been a mayor, but I would imagine, you know, you have a little micro economy that you're in control of. You have, you know, depending on the size of your portfolio, you could have 100 vendors. Then you could have 200 doors, which equals anywhere from 200 to 400 people, human beings, their
mhm.
pets, you know, their influences, their family members that have problems, their ups, their downs. Then you have your own team, and then you have your ownerships. And you know that could be the same. If you have 200 doors, you could have 200 owners. You could have one big owner, but either way, you have responsibility to these people. You know.
You're more than just a mayor. It's like you're also the police department and the fire department and the education system. Um, you're like all the critical functions of this little digital city that you oversee.
Yeah, you know, I constantly tell people like we see the best and the worst of human beings. Like typically if someone's proactively reaching out to us, if it's not for a maintenance request, something major has happened in their life
Mm,
and it's either good or bad. And and you got to be able to then filter that out and speak it out business to your ownership. But you know, we have all kinds of things. You name it, it happens in a rental community,
mhm.
in a community of homes that we manage. And you know, everything from births to deaths, and those influence, you know, the way the portfolio functions, the way we function. You know, every time there's a major, look at Texas, you know, every time there's a major storm coming in, that affects things. Every time there's a shortage of something, I mean, again, look at Texas, look at, you know, Colorado floods. Now we're having, you know, shortages here and there, and that affects our residents, that affects our owner. You know, during COVID, we've seen this happen more and more and more. We've had appliances. Last summer, we had AC units get backed up. We're in Phoenix, you
Yeah.
know, and we got to be able to proactively handle it, on top of the fact that one of our residents might have a new child. One of our residents might have an elderly child. One of our residents may have had COVID. One of our residents, you know, on top of all this other stuff that they're dealing with, on top of our business and what we're dealing with. And those same storms affect us, those same shortages affect us,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. So you're dealing with the problems that are happening in society as a citizen of the society, but then you're also dealing with it as like the mayor of your own little community of
Yeah,
rentals.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. And that's why, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning. That's why it's like, do you want to be the mayor of a town where everybody's a bunch of jerks? Or do you want to,
Mm,
you know, work on influencing your ownership so that way you have happier residents. So
mhm.
that way you have, you know, a more symbiotic relationship between all the players in the town.